Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Andrew Laidley. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has highlighted the need for more economic stimulus at the central bank level. It's a global challenge the multilateral lending agency identified before the outbreak of COVID-19. The need for greater stimulus has been heightened by the challenges created by the COVID-19 pandemic. How low can you go? That's the question from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to central bankers around the world. It refers to the monetary policy framework of central banks, which usually outlines the indicative interest rate for financial institutions. In Jamaica, that rate has been at an all-time low of 0.5% for the last 16 months. The Bank of Jamaica has indicated on multiple occasions that its decision to hold the interest rate unchanged is linked to expectations that inflation will remain within its target of 4 to 6%. But the IMF is warning that more innovative ideas may be required going forward.
The problem is that more of the same is not possible, and it will not be sufficient today. Central banks cut policy rates sharply after 2008. Nowadays, these rates have already been pushed to the floor or even below zero. Now many central banks are going back to the lab, reviewing their frameworks to identify innovative strategies and tools that will support the recovery from this crisis and support it beyond the crisis.
BOJ Governor Richard Biles gave an idea of what might happen if the central bank is forced to reduce the policy interest rate to negative margins.
Well, if we had negative rates, banks would have to pay us to hold their money, right? But I mean, we'd only consider something like that if we thought demand for loans were pretty strong and the banks were not fulfilling that demand. That would be the purpose of being so draconian in our policy rate.
At the same time, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva noted that monetary policy must also be supported by an effective fiscal framework in order to overcome the challenges. Now, international short-term rental company Airbnb is going public. The company's prospectus was published on the United States Securities and Exchange Commission website. Airbnb is offering shares of its Class A common stock. The company has applied to list the stock on the Nasdaq Global Select Market. Details like the share price and offer opening date were omitted from the prospectus. Currency trading ended today with the US dollar selling for $148.07. The Canadian dollar sold for an even $113, well, that's $113.70. The pound closed at $196.35, while the euro is going for $178.35. The JSE index gained 2,680 points today, while the junior market index declined 11 points. Among the winners were Mayberry Jamaican Equities, Knoxford Express, Proven Investments US dollar shares, Mayberry Investments, and Victoria Mutual Investments. Now on the losing side were Paramount Trading, Dolphin Cove, Palace Amusement, Sterling Investments, and Everything Fresh. That's the Business Day. I'm Andrew Laidley. Good evening.